Welcome back once again to our channel Tembani News. I'm here with maths, where we are moving from zero to hero. I'm your host, Paida, who is going to be leading in this lesson. We are continuing from where we left off. Remember, I gave you work on inequalities, and we are starting again on our inequalities. The first question that I gave had 2x plus 7 less than or equal to 1 minus x. This was part of your homework. So we're going to look at your homework first, then from there we'll look at today's work. So this is our inequality, and as I've explained in the previous lessons, that we group like and unlike terms. In this case, we are saying we are going to move our x to this side and also move our 7 to that side. So we are saying we have 2x. This x was a negative x. If it crosses the inequality sign, it becomes a positive x. Our inequality sign, we put it like that. Then in this side we have 1. Then we are moving our positive 7 to that side. It becomes a negative 7. So this means we have 2x plus x, which will give us 3x. Our 3x is less than 1 minus 7. We'll get a negative 6. Then for us to find the variable x, we divide both sides by 3. Then here, if 3 divide into 3, we remain with 1. 1 multiplied by x will give us x, and we are saying x is less than 3 into negative 6 will give us a negative 2. This will be our answer for the first question. Then moving on to the second question, we have 1 minus 11x all over 3 is less than or equal to 3. So we have a fraction, and as I indicated in the previous lesson, we have to remove the fractional part first. How do we remove it? We multiply both the left hand side and the right hand side with the denominator, which is our 3. So we are saying 3 is multiplying into 1 minus 11x all over 3. And then we put our inequality sign, and then we say 3 multiplied by 3. What we do to the left side is the same thing that we do to the right side. So from there, we divide this 3 into that 3. We'll get 1. And that 1 is going to multiply everything in that bracket. And if we multiply 1 into everything in that bracket, we are going to say 1 multiplied by 1, we get 1. 1 multiplied by negative 11x, we get a negative 11x. And it is less than or equal to 3 multiplied by 3 will give us a 9. Then we do the same process again, where we are grouping like and unlike terms. We are going to move this 1 to that side. So this side we are going to remain with negative 11x less than or equal to 9. If this 1 moves, it was positive this side. So if it crosses the inequality sign, it becomes a negative 1. So we are going to have negative 11x is less than or equal to 9 minus 1 will give us 8. Then from there, we have a negative 11x here. If you still remember, I said if we multiply or divide by a negative, our inequality sign changes direction. So we have negative 11x over negative 11. We have divided with a negative sign. So our inequality sign was facing that direction. It now changes direction and faces this side. So it becomes greater than or equal to our 8. Then our 8, since we have divided by a negative 11 this side, we are also going to divide by a negative 11 that side. So our answer is going to be x is greater than or equal to negative 8 over 11. And yes, it's possible for us to get our answers in a fraction form. We are moving on to the next question, which I also gave as a homework. So from our previous lesson, this was the third question that I gave you. But if you calculated it, you notice you were going to get an answer. Something that you were going to get was going to look like something like this, where we had a negative 12 is greater than 0, which is wrong, because negative 12 cannot be greater than 0. Or you are going to get a 0 is greater than 12 again, which is wrong, in the sense that 0 is never greater than 12. So to correct this question, for it to be a proper question, we're going to put a negative here. We're going to put a negative there. So with that, notice this is a fraction and that is also a fraction. So remove the fractional part first. How do we remove the fractional part? We multiply each and every term by the LCM of the denominators. In this case, the LCM of the denominators is 6, because negative 2 is the same as negative 2 over 1. So we are going to say x over 6 multiplied by 6 minus bracket 2 multiplied by 6. Put our inequality sign. Then we also have a negative 6 multiplying into x over 6. And then we divide this 6 by this 6. We also divide this 6 by this 6. We're going to get a 1 here. We're also going to get a 1 there. Then we multiply our 1 by x. We're going to get x. Here we get negative 2 multiplied by 6 will give us a 12. We put our inequality sign. Then we have a negative 1 multiplied by x to get a negative x. Then from there, we are going to group like and unlike terms. I'm going to move this x to that side so that we divide by a negative. For you to remember that whenever we divide by a negative, our inequality is going to change direction. So we now have a negative 12 is greater than negative x. If this x crosses the inequality sign, it's also going to become negative. So we now have a negative 12 is greater than negative x. Negative x is going to give us a negative 2x because we are going to be sorting the coefficient. Here the coefficient is 1 and there the coefficient is also 1. So from there, we now have this negative 2. So we are going to divide by a negative, which means our inequality sign is going to change direction. This is what I mean. We have negative 12 over negative 2. Our inequality sign was facing this side. It faces the other side. It changes direction. So we have a negative 2x divided by a negative 2. If we divide a negative 2 by a negative 2, that side we are going to get our x, put our inequality sign, and then here we are going to say a negative divided by a negative will give us a positive. A 2 into 12 will give us a 6. For it to be neater, we are going to write x. If we were to read this, we are saying 6 is less than x. And if we are reading from this point, we are saying x is greater than 6. So our inequality sign faces our x, and then we write in this form. This will be our solution. Moving on to the next question. We have a bracket, both sides on the left and on the right. So in this case, we are going to remove the brackets first before solving the inequality. So we are multiplying each and every term which is in the bracket by what is outside of the bracket. So this 5 is going to multiply this, and this 5 is also going to multiply that. And this 2 is going to multiply that, and this is going to multiply that. It's also wiser when you are writing this question to actually put those arrows so that you remember to multiply each and every term which is outside the bracket by each and every term which is inside the bracket. So we are saying 5 multiplied by x will give us 5x. 5 multiplied by minus 4 will give us minus 20 is less than. We put our inequality sign, then we say 2 multiplied by 2x will give us a 4x. Then plus 2 multiplied by 11 is going to give us a positive 22. We are back again to sorting the like and unlike terms. So we have a 5x here and we have a 4x there. We're going to move the 4x this side and we're going to move the negative 20 that side. So we have 5x minus 4x. Because our 4x was positive, that side is going to become negative when it moves this side. Then we put our inequality sign. This side we are left with positive 22. And then if we move our negative 20, that side, it becomes a positive 20. So now I'm simplifying the left-hand side and also the right-hand side. So 5x minus 4x is going to give me an x. And then x is less than 22 plus 20 is going to give me a 42. This is the solution to that question. Remember to like and follow Tembani News. And I'm your host, Paida, who is moving from 0 to hero with regards to mathematics. I'm moving on to the next question that I also gave you as your homework. So in this question, it's interesting that many students make an error of forgetting that this negative is multiplying everything which is in that bracket. So if you see the negative and the bracket, remember that negative is multiplying everything which is in the bracket. So a a trick or a way that you may remember how to multiply is to write it this way, where we have 8x and then we say -1 multiplying 2x minus 7, put the bracket, then this is greater than or equal to 37. So in this case, we are able now to multiply this -1 by everything in that bracket. As I have said, for you to remember, put these arrows so that you remember to multiply with everything in the bracket. You can use your pencils to do that. So this 8 is not multiplying anything because there's a negative sign in between. So the 8 remain like that. So we have our 8x, and then we are saying -1 multiplied by 2 will give us a -2x, and then a negative multiplied by a negative is going to give us a positive. So -1 multiplied by -7 is going to give us a +7, which is greater than or equal to 37. Then from there, I'm going to simplify this part, then group like and unlike terms. We have 8x minus 2x, that is going to give us 6x plus 7 is greater than or equal to 37. Then I'm going to move the 7 to that side. If the 7 crosses the inequality sign, it becomes a negative. So I'll have 6x, then my inequality sign, then I have my 37. This 7 moves to that side, it becomes a -7. So I have 6x is greater than or equal to 37 minus 7 is going to give me 30. Then from there, I divide both sides by 6. In this case, I didn't divide by a negative sign. So my inequality sign does not change because I'm not dividing by a negative sign. So this 6 divided into this 6 is going to give me an x is greater than or equal to 6 into 30 is going to give me a 5. So this will be my solution. This was the homework that I gave you. But today we want to move on to something very interesting that we want to look at. We want to solve simultaneous inequalities. Maybe you are wondering or asking yourself, what are simultaneous inequalities? These are inequalities that have two inequalities in the same statement. For example, we have this inequality sign over here, and we also have this inequality sign over there, but they are in the same statement. Maybe I can indicate using color so that you see what I'm talking about. We have the same statement, but it has this inequality sign, it also has this inequality sign. And even on the second part, the second question here is like this, and it also has these inequality sign, two inequality signs in the same statement. So we are saying these are simultaneous inequalities. I want you to repeat after me, simultaneous inequalities. Interesting, isn't it? Let's move on to see how we can solve these simultaneous inequalities. I'm going to start off with this example that we have here, where we are saying we have a -4 is less than or equal to 2x plus 4 less than or equal to 12. This is the inequality that we have. How do we solve it? So when we are solving simultaneous inequalities, we focus on the first inequality first, then go on to the second inequality. Then after solving, we then combine the solutions. You see what I'm talking about as we are calculating. So this is the question that we have. How do you do it? You actually go to the first inequality sign. In this case, we have -4 less than or equal to 2x plus 4. So you close off using even your hand the other side. What do I mean? I mean you put your hand here and you have closed this inequality. This means you are now left with just this part only. And then you focus on this part. When you are done, you close off the other inequality again. Then you focus on this part again only. When you are done calculating, you then come back to the question. You then come back to your question and simplify what is given. Okay, so we are going to close off this first inequality first. We are going to close off this first inequality first. So if I close off this inequality first, I'm left with -4 less than or equal to 2x plus 4. This is the inequality that I now have. So I solve this inequality first, and when I'm done, I then move on to the other inequality. So With this question, the first thing that I'm going to do is group like and unlike terms. So I'm going to move this positive 4 to this side. This was positive, and if it crosses the inequality sign, it becomes negative. So I already have a negative 4, and I've moved that 4. It also becomes a negative 4 is less than or equal to 2x. Negative 4 is going to give me a negative 8. A negative 8 is less than or equal to 2x. Then from there, I divide both sides by 2 for me to solve for x. So I'm dividing this side by 2, and I'm also dividing that side by 2. 2 into negative 8 is going to give me a negative 4. My negative 4 is less than or equal to 2 into 2x is going to give me an x. I didn't divide with a negative, so my inequality does not change direction. So this is the first part. Remember, it's simultaneous. When you have gone to this point, you are not yet done because we only focused on one side. Now we want to focus on the other side. So when I'm focusing on the other side, I'm closing off from where the inequality sign is. The inequality sign is here. So it means I'm starting from 2x, moving in that direction. I'm starting from 2x, moving in that direction. So I have my I have my 2x plus 4 less than or equal to 12. I'm starting from where the inequality sign is, moving in that direction. So from there, I'm going to group like and unlike terms, which means I'm moving my 4 to that side. So it becomes 2x plus 4 this side. If it crosses the inequality sign, it becomes a negative 4. So I put my inequality sign and the 12 that I already have. Then this 4, if it moves to that side, it becomes a negative 4. So I now have 2x is less than or equal to 12 minus 4 is going to give me an 8. So because I want to solve for x, I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So I'm dividing by 2, I'm dividing by 2. So x is less than or equal to 2 into 8 will give me a 4. Maybe you are wondering, what then when we have gotten to this point? So when we would have gotten to this point, we then combine the inequalities because it is a simultaneous inequality. For our solution, we are going to combine this inequality with this inequality. How? Maybe that is the question that you are asking yourself. So if we are combining these inequalities, we are going to first write our x. So we write our x in the middle of our page. After writing our x, we are going to write this inequality as it is because it was x is less than or equal to 4. It means I've written this inequality as it is. Then I'm now moving on to this inequality. I've started by writing x, so I'm going to follow everything that is written that side. So I have my x, then I put my inequality sign as it is, then I put my negative 4. I've combined these inequalities, the first one and the second one. I hope you are following through on how we solve simultaneous inequalities. So I'm again going to move on to another question so that we will see what is happening with our inequalities. We have this again, our simultaneous inequality, where we have 5x minus 5 is less than or equal to 2x plus 1, which is less than 10 minus x. As you can see, we have two inequality signs. We have this inequality sign and we have this inequality sign, and they are both in the same statement. What did I say we do? Do you still remember? Well, I said we close off the inequality sign. In this case, I'm going to start by closing off this inequality sign and I remain with this statement. After doing that, I'm then going to close off this inequality sign and I remain with this statement. Then from there, I combine the solutions. This is what I'm talking about. We close off this inequality sign, so I'm left with x minus 5 is greater than or equal to 2x plus 1. Then from there, I group like and unlike terms. I'm going to move my x to that side and my 1 to this side. So So if my x is going to move to that side, it was positive, it becomes negative. And if my 1 moves to this side, it was positive, it becomes negative. So I already have my negative 5, and if my 1 moved this side, if it crosses the inequality sign, it becomes a negative 1. Then I put my inequality sign, I have my 2x, then this x was positive. If it crosses the inequality sign, it also becomes a negative. So I'm going to have minus 5 minus 1 is going to give me a negative 6 is less than or equal to 2x minus x is going to give me an x. So this is the first part of my inequality. I'm now going to close off this inequality sign and focus on the other statement. It's allowed for you to write going down, but in this case, for the sake of explanation, I'm going to move on to this side and write it on the other side so that we are able to follow through what I'm talking about. So as I've said, we are now closing off from this point, going in that direction. So if I'm closing off from that point, I'm saying I have 2x plus 1 is less than 10 minus x. So from here, I'm going to group like and unlike terms. What do I mean? I'm going to move off. My negative x is going to move to this side, and my positive 1 is going to move to this side. So if this negative x crosses the inequality sign, it becomes a positive x. And if this positive 1 crosses the inequality sign, it's going to become a negative 1. So I'm going to have a 2x plus x, put my inequality sign, which is 2x plus 1 is less than 10. And if I move this one, it becomes a negative 1. So I'm now going to have 2x plus x will give me 3x is less than 10 minus 1 is going to give me a 9. For me to solve the variable of x, I'm going to divide both sides by 3. So I'm going to divide this side by 3 and also divide this side by 3. So this side, I'm going to remain with x. If I divide this side, I'm going to remain with x. Then on this side, 3 into 3 is 1, and 3 into 9 is going to give me a 3. Then from there, what did I say we do? I said we combine the inequalities. How? By first writing our x in the middle. After writing our x in the middle, we then write this statement as it is. This statement is like this. X is less than 3. Then from there, I then take this inequality. I've started with writing x first, then I put my inequality sign, then I also put the number. So if I were to close this inequality sign, I'll remain with negative x is less than, negative 6 is less than or equal to x. And if I were to close this side, I'm going to have x is less than 3, which is the solution that I've gotten from that end. I hope we are getting what I'm talking about when we are talking about solving simultaneous inequalities. So sometimes when the question comes in exams, they are set like this, where it's saying solve the following simultaneous inequality, leaving answer in the form A is less than X less than or equal to B, where A and B are constants. So when we are saying A and B are constants, we are talking about numbers. So we have this inequality that we have here on our board. I want you to try first to write it. I hope you have written something for starters, where we are separating the inequalities. So we are closing off this inequality sign and writing everything. Then after that part, we then close off this inequality sign and then write everything and solve it. So this is what I mean. We have a negative 2x plus 2 is less than or equal to 3x plus 8. We group like and unlike terms. So for interest, for us to remember to divide by a negative, I'm going to move this 3 to this side so that it becomes negative. So I have 2x, negative 2x, negative 3x is less than or equal to 8. Then if that crosses the inequality sign, it's going to become a negative 2. So negative 3x, negative 2x is going to give us a negative 5x is less than or equal to 8 minus 2 is going to give us a 6. So from that point, we are going to divide both sides by a negative 5. So we divide by a negative 5. We have 5x over negative 5. And if we divide by negative 5, our inequality sign changes direction. So it's now facing this side. It's now greater than or equal to. Then we have our 6 here. We also put our negative 5 this side. So what we are going to get, if we divide this by this, we are going to get our x there, and our inequality sign, our x is greater than or equal to negative 6 over 5. I'm going to leave it as an improper fraction like that. Then I'm going to move to the other side, where I've said we now close off the other inequality sign and start. So we are starting from here where we've closed off the inequality sign, moving in this direction. So what do we have? We have our 3x plus 8 is less than 16. Grouping like and unlike terms, we are going to move the 8 to that side, so it becomes 3x. We put our inequality sign and we have our 16 minus 8. So this becomes 3x is less than 16 minus 8 is going to give me a positive 8. And then for me to solve for x, I'm going to divide both sides by 3. Our inequality sign doesn't change direction because we have divided by a positive. So we are going to get x is less than 8 over 3. So we have this solution and we also have this solution. Now we want to combine our solutions, our simultaneous inequality. What did we say we write first when we are now combining our inequalities? I said you put our x or your variable in between. After putting your variable, I'm writing this statement as it is. So is x is less than 8 over 3. I've written it as it is. Then this one is now interesting because it started with x is greater than or equal to negative 6 over 5. So I have my x already. Now I'm going to put my inequality sign facing x. So my inequality sign is going to face x like that. After writing my inequality facing x like that, I'm then going to put this number, my negative 6 over 5. We have written and we have solved this simultaneous inequalities. I hope you are getting what we are talking about. If you have any question concerning what we are discussing on simultaneous inequalities or any other concept or topic, please feel free to write in the comment section. I'll respond to all your questions. Moving on to our last example for this lesson, we have this inequality, but it's number 1, a simultaneous inequality. At the same time, it also has the fractional part. So maybe let's remove the fractional part first before we solve the simultaneous inequality. So we have our denominator here, we have 4, there we have 4, and we also have 8. So we multiply each and every term by our LCM. In this case, the LCM of the denominator is 8. So we are multiplying each and every term with 8. We are saying 8 is multiplying negative 9 over 4 minus, is less than 8 multiplied by x plus 8 multiplied by 1 over 4. Put our inequality sign. Then we are saying again 8 is multiplying 3 over 8. So we have multiplied each and every term by our LCM, which is 8. So 4 into 8 will give us a 2. So we are saying 2 multiplied by negative 9 is less than 8x plus 4 into 8 will give us a 2, which we are multiplying by 1, which is our numerator there. We put our inequality sign. 8 into 8 will give us 1, and that 1 we are multiplying by 3. So I'm going to remove the brackets. Here we are going to have 2 multiplied by negative 9 will give us a negative 18. We put our inequality sign. 8x plus 2 multiplied by 1 is going to give us a 2. We put our inequality sign. 1 multiplied by 3 is going to give us a 3. Now we have a simple simultaneous inequality. And as I've said, we close off from where the inequality sign is, and then we solve this. Then again, we close off where the inequality sign is, then we solve that end. So from this end, from here, going this direction, we have negative 18 less than 8x plus 2. We end where the inequality sign is. So here we group like and like terms. I'm going to move my 2 to this side. It's going to become a negative 2. So I have negative 18, negative 2. Put my inequality sign. This side I'm left with 8x. Then negative 2, negative 18 is going to give me a negative 20, which is less than 8x. And then now solving for x, I divide both sides by 8. And from there, I'm going to remain with, negative 8 into 20. I'm going to ensure that I'm going to leave it as an improper fraction. So I'm going to divide the numerator by 4 and the denominator again by 4. And that will give me a negative 5 over 2, which is less than x. So this is the first inequality that I'm going to solve from this statement. And then I come back here, I'm going to close off this inequality sign. Start from 8 going into this direction. I now have 8x plus 2 is less than 3. So I'm going to move my positive 2. It crosses the inequality sign. It becomes a negative. So I'll have 8x is less than 3 minus 2. This 8x is going to be less than 3 minus 2 is going to be 1. I'm going to divide both sides by 8 for me to solve for x. So I divide both sides by 8, the left hand side and the right hand side. So I'm going to remain with x is less than 1 over 8. Then from there, I'm going to combine my solution into 1. Remember, our question was asking us to have this, to write it in that form. So in this case, I'm going to write my x in the middle. After writing my x in the middle, I'm going to write this as it is. So I've satisfied this part. Then for me to satisfy that part, I'm going to have my x's there, already there, then my inequality sign, then my negative 5 over 2. This is our solution for this inequality. We have solved this simultaneous inequality. Remember, if you have any questions, write them in the comment section. For now, I'm going to give us a homework. The homework has 2 questions. One of the questions is negative x is less than or equal to 10x plus 14 less than or equal to 24. Then the second question is coming from a paper from ZIMSEG, which was a paper written in November 2016. The question was saying solve the inequality x minus 2 less than or equal to 4x plus 1 less than 2x plus 4. And then it's saying giving your answer in the form a less than or equal to x less than b, where a and b are constants. I want you to follow the example that I was doing so that you solve this question. Thank you so much for joining us in this lesson from 0 to Euro. Please remember to follow Tembani News for more lessons. I'm your host, Paida. Bye.